Yo, Bill. Bill, dude.
I'm Reese, welcome to Gang Buzz. We talk about drunk and playing something video games.
Jesus Christ, Bill.
Where'd my pants
go? On this week's episode of Gaming Buzzed, Top 3 RPGs.
Hey guys, welcome to Gaming Buzz, where we save princesses from dinosaurs while getting drunk.
Yeah, I fucked that up sometimes. Bowser is not a princess. Yeah, maybe. If you're into that. Oh. Alright, on this week's episode, it's me and Reese's top 3 RPGs. I have made my list specifically to try and surprise the fuck out of him with my number 1, because he won't see it coming. I don't think.
I'm interested. My top 3 list is very typical, especially for anybody that knows me, because I love my RPGs, and my favorite video games are most likely RPGs, as I look in the direction of certain posters and certain t-shirts that I might be wearing. So so my list is going to be very
You only
very
get
typical.
one of mine, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you only get one.
I know what one is definitely going to be, for a fact.
Yeah, because it's all we really talk about.
Yeah.
Alright. So, as you know, every week we have a sponsor.
Yeah.
And this week, I chose a sponsor. Dogfish Head 60 Minute.
Oh, man.
I wanted to go with 90 Minute, but I went, yeah, let's not get that.
Is it going to be one of those? It's going to be a long day.
Oh, that would be a long day. But, it's one of those ones that I really enjoy. It's not too strong. Doesn't have that really strong grapefruit taste you get from a...
Yeah. It's got the hoppiness to it, but it's not like over the top. 90 minute, dude, you get to the 120 minute even.
That's hard to find.
I caught that, by the way.
Yes, you should. 120 minutes hard to find, honestly.
Yeah, you only see it on tap in like some places. But Dogfish Head makes phenomenal beers. They're out of Delaware. I love these guys.
I've been to Brew Pub.
Okay.
Not the one in Delaware, the one in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
The food was great. That's the first time I ever had their Worldwide Stout, which...
Oh, yeah.
That'll put you on your ass. Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Oh.
All
yeah,
right.
So delicious.
Man. So, you found a cool news article.
Yes, and it goes with this episode very
well.
Yeah. Fable is being revived due to the popularity of Horizon Zero Dawn. It was a fan favorite action RPG. It was exclusive only for PlayStation. The company that develops the Forza games, Playground Games, they're going to look into making this their new Xbox exclusive.
Okay.
I'm really hoping it happens because Fable is one of my favorite games. I didn't play Horizon Zero Dawn. I believe you...
I tooled around with it, but I never got a chance to play, get real too deep into it. But it was beautiful. It was a great game.
I only saw the videos for it. It looked to me... The concept sounded good. What are you again?
So you're, it's like the future past. And I say future past because there's, cybernetics and extreme technology, but cybernetic dinosaurs. They're like robot dinos.
I think that's the one thing that intrigued me. I went, alright, this is new.
Yeah. So it's the future, but you're like a barbarian woman. So it is very much like a past future vibe. It's a post-apocalyptic world, I guess, in the rebuilding. For some odd reason, someone thought robot dinosaurs was a good fucking idea. Wink wink, Jurassic Park.
Apparently they didn't see Turok.
That
went great.
Yeah, exactly. But that's really cool. And it's really interesting too because Playground, they really only made the Forza racing series before.
Yeah, before it. Yeah, all I'm seeing here is just Forza.
Yeah, so
but they are having Rockstar North help them in it. But they made GTA 5.
Yeah.
Bunch of those. So it's.
If you're going to get Rockstar anywhere near the development of your game, it's going to be a pretty damn good game. Rockstar really doesn't make shitty games at all.
Story-wise, it should be great as well.
Yeah. See, now I never got into the Fable series, which is funny because I was an Xbox user during the years when they came out.
The Fable years. I never looked at it that way. The Fable years.
The Fabled years. I played 2 because I got it for free. I don't know if someone let me borrow it or something like that, but I remember I had it and I played it for a little bit. But, you know what my gripe with it was? And not that I have a problem with games like this, it was a little too cartoony for me.
I know what you mean, yeah.
It was kind of... And not cartoony and it's a weird thing to say. It wasn't cartoony in a kid type of way. It wasn't cartoony in the art type of way. It just, the overall feel... it felt very anime You know,
there was childish adult jokes in it.
Yes.
Throughout.
Which is,
yeah.
I love that type of humor, you know, yeah.
It's not like South Park type of humor. It was meant to be subtle so like kids could play. It's not just someone around going, fuck, 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 fuck.
Yeah.
But, no, it's still a fun game. Like, I'm very curious to see what Playground and Rockstar are going to do with it.
Yeah.
They're going from racing and...
Yeah.
That's where it gets very intriguing. I believe you had some news as well.
Oh man, so
we just found it.
I can't let go. So we're getting all the notes and all the everything ready for that episode, and Bill comes across an awesome news article. It wasn't even a news article; it was like a meme, and I'm like, "There's no way that's fucking true." So we start searching it, and it's very true. So it's a news article that Wired shared in August of 2013 about a game called Send Me to Heaven. It was a mobile app, and the mobile app game is you start the game and you throw your phone as high as you possibly can, and then you catch it. And that's the whole game. They have like leaderboards set up to see how high people have thrown their phones and caught it. And the article was shared because Apple had banned it from the App Store. It was only on the Google Store from that point on. And the creator, Peter Savorsky, told Wired he was disappointed by the ban. He had hoped to have people shatter as many iPhones as humanly possible.
I'm guessing he was an Android fan?
I imagine he's an Android fan. So that's fucking great. Could you imagine like a game?
You release that game now, people would be eating more Tide Pods or whatever the hell they're
Oh
doing.
my god!
I don't know what that little thing is. I don't care.
You see the problem with the game now? It couldn't be a game now because people would just be attaching it to drones. You know. You know, and it would just be like send my phone up and never come down. So like leaderboards are probably like broken at this point, I imagine.
Oh yeah.
But that's a real fucking game. Send Me to Heaven. Check it out. If any of our users get the app and do it and don't break their phone,
but
tell us about it.
The other funny thing is only Apple banned it. Google didn't ban it.
Google didn't ban
So
it.
Google honestly doesn't give a fuck about their phones.
Google gives no fucks.
Android doesn't give a fuck about their phones. Apple does.
That's fucking hilarious. Oh man, I want to try and I don't have a fucking Android phone, so I can't try.
I don't want to try that either.
So what's up with you this week?
It was another fun week of work and still thinking about the podcast.
Yes.
I put a lot of thought into this list. I had to go through a lot of RPGs because those are what I enjoy.
Yeah.
Because most of those are open world. Those are the most fun to play to me.
They're typically my favorite games.
You get to find those fun hidden quests and all that.
Yeah.
And that was really how I spent most of the week, was just sitting there like going over the list like, no, do you want... It's like me and you both went over before we started. Everything on our list is sequels except one of mine.
Yes.
So I had to put a lot of thought into which ones I picked. But I feel like my list will come across pretty good. How about you, sir? It was another fun week.
Another fun week. The weeks have been good. Everything's been going really, really well. My online store got listed on a top 25 list.
I saw you post that.
That was really, I do like, so for anyone who doesn't know, I run an online clothing store, and it's just like t-shirts and hoodies, and it's all like geek-based shit. Like I've got RPG stuff up there, I have movie stuff up there, comic book, whatever. And I got a notification one morning, and it was like, Disney, blah, 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 tagged your store on Facebook. And I was like, oh no, I'm being sued. I'm like, because like, I have the like designs up there that, you know, like, it was a Star Wars design, perfect example.
Oh.
So I was like, oh fuck, Disney's on to me. Like, they're taking me down. But no, come to find out, it was just some Facebook site called Disney Everyday or something like that. And they did a top 25 list of their favorite Star Wars shirts on Etsy. And my shirt made the list. It was really fucking cool.
That is pretty fucking awesome. I'd be more worried about your Firefly shirt, like Joss Whedon coming for money.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well,
You're still welcome for that idea.
Oh, yes, thank you.
That was a random one I just came up with.
Which is funny. I've already gotten 3 cease and desist letters already.
From who?
Okay, so it's not even a cease and desist. Since I run my store through Etsy, any property owners that believe that they're being infringed upon can literally just email Etsy, and Etsy will just take your item off the site. If like this item's been removed, blah blah blah. If you want to challenge it, email them. And it was Netflix set me up for my Stranger Things tape.
Really?
Which is funny because I have 2 Stranger Things shirt on there. One is a picture of Eleven's face and it says bitchin' on it. And the other one is just a list of their names, like Mike and Dustin.
I'm guessing they went for the list.
They went for the list one. And
the font.
but it's a public domain font that I downloaded for free off the internet, and they're just names. You can't copyright the name. So
okay, that one doesn't make sense.
it's stylized in the way that Stranger Things title screen stylized. And the thing is, I probably could challenge it, but because it's their property, I have to defend myself. So they're like, you stole our shit. I'd be like, actually, no, I didn't. I just used a font that I found for free on the internet, and I wrote some names down.
Much like our logo.
Exactly.
Fuck Nintendo's
coming. Yeah, Nintendo's coming for us. So, so that was really cool, though. That was really, really cool.
What was the other one?
Oh, so Stranger Things, Fox hit me up for Bob's Burgers.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and the third one was random. Friends of mine are fans of this band. They're not even a big band. They're called Big Wreck. They're out of Canada. And he's like, dude, they got a real big following. I know a lot of fans. You should put a shirt on your site. I'll send fans to your site. They can order the shirt. And that band actually shut that one down.
Wow, they love their fans.
I know. Sorry that I'm out there making money off of your shit. I mean, I really am not. Like, I spend hours designing all these logos, and I know all my copyright laws, but some people don't like that.
It is actually Bob's Burgers, though. Just because you wrote name?
Exactly. You're copywriting the name Bob. You're copywriting the name Linda and Tina. Like, like I said.
It's amazing that things don't get that.
Yeah, it's neither here. It's neither here nor there.
All right.
Is it time?
It is.
Okay.
All right. Let us go with your number 3 top RPG, sir.
Right, so my number 3 of the top RPGs. I'm going to start off like right out the gate with a game that it's played in recent years. The first time I ever even played this series was only 2 years ago, and I blew through it. And my number 3 is Mass Effect 2.
Okay, I was supposed to surprise you. You're surprising me with that one.
Yeah, dude. So
you changed the order since we started.
I did. I didn't change the order since I started. I changed the order since we talked about it last. So I thought about it, and Mass Effect could have been higher, but and number 3, and which I mean, shit, out of my top 3, out of 50 RPGs I played, so being in the top 3 is still good. Mass Effect 2 was a game that was published by EA and developed by BioWare, and it released in January 2010 for 360 and Windows. And actually, it took a year. It wasn't until January 2011 that it came out for PlayStation 3, and I don't even remember it. I did not play the Mass Effect series when it came out, and
I didn't either.
I don't know why. It was just like, it came out, I was like, oh cool, like a new action RPG or whatever. And I had friends that loved it, and I didn't really get into it. And about 2 years ago, a friend of mine's like, dude, I have the trilogy, like the box set trilogy. Play the games, you're gonna love the games. And if I hadn't played and loved Fallout as much as I do, I fucking love Fallout. It's my favorite video game series of all time. I have Fallout shit everywhere. I have a Fallout tattoo. I wear a Fallout shirt. If it wasn't for the fact that I played Fallout for so long, Mass Effect would easily be my number 1 gaming franchise of all time. That was such a fun fucking game. Mass Effect 1 was a great game. It had its problems. I always like to joke and say that Mass Effect 1, also known as slowly riding in elevators with aliens. Because that's literally all Mass Effect 1 was.
The exploration fucking missions with it wasn't a Nomad then, was it?
Well, it was a Nomad.
Okay.
It was a Nomad.
God, it was fucking tough.
Like, the fact that mining was a big thing in all the games, but in Mass Effect 1, you like had to mine.
No, that stupid little Simon fucking game you had to fucking play.
So that was a little...
Oh, you fucked up? You're not getting it.
Mm-hmm, you're locked out. It was a little painful, but you could tell that by the first game, like, this is actually a pretty cool world.
Yes.
This is a pretty cool idea.
The story was good.
Yeah, and what I gotta say for Mass Effect 2, I've played a lot of video games in the 33 years of my life. There has never, in my opinion, been a jump of quality of game as though jump from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2.
No.
Mass Effect 2 blew the doors off of the Mass Effect
The only problem
franchise.
was you didn't have unlimited ammo anymore.
You didn't have unlimited ammo anymore.
That was fucking annoying.
That was a little bit annoying, but like literally the action, the story, the dialogue.
Well, being able to skip dialogue. Now that changed with 3.
Yeah,
that changed with 3.
That changed with 3. But the gameplay really, it took a really, like, hey man, we got this pretty cool idea. And Mass Effect 2, like, injected fucking steroids into it. This is gonna be phenomenal. And it really was. 3 was a great game, and 3,
we all have our reasons why we don't like 3.
3 changed one thing that makes it why it would never be over 2. You couldn't control your party. And I don't know why they took that out. Oh, no, that's not 3. That's 4 I'm thinking of. That's Andromeda. Andromeda, you can't control your companions. That was something I'm like, why would you remove that?
Well, you're another reason I don't like 3.
Yeah.
Well, no, I like 3. I just don't like that part of 3.
Yeah, and a lot of people have a problem with the story in 3. And I'm not one of those guys because I played it so far after it released. A lot of people felt gypped by the end of 3.
Oh, I fucking did.
I didn't feel gypped by it because I played it so quickly. I played all 3 games in like a 2-month span. So to me, I'm like, oh cool, the story's over, and I didn't really get upset by it, but I can see why.
It's like I told you, I went through and played with all the DLC for 3 first before I went back and played 2. DLC for 3 is great. They're kind of short, which makes you kind of feel gypped. DLC for 2, so much fun.
Yeah, the Shadow Broker stuff, you know.
Oh yeah,
actually, yeah.
But the Leviathan DLC for 3, that's just a great story itself.
Yeah. So what's your number 3?
Mine is Fable 2.
That's awesome.
It's like I said, going picking between. I was like Fable 2 or 3 more. I go with 2 because 3 felt you can definitely tell they're different games.
Okay.
2 was more you actually go out and explore and all that. 3 you're taking over as the king, so you have to go out and pretty much raise money so you can take care of your kingdom.
Okay.
2 is more of that action, exploration, fantasy type stuff that I enjoy. Like you just go explore the whole map to find quests. You don't always have going quest here, quest here, quest here.
Yeah.
You have to go and find them most of the time. Well, some of the time.
Maybe like a true sandbox feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was just the story was great. Apparently, I never played 1, honestly.
Really? So neither have I.
I knew people that did. They said it was a great game. I tried to play the Lost Chapters. No, the Lost Chapters. There was just no progression. It was just like go fight this train dummy. The next day, shoot this train dummy. Gone.
Was that like a standalone game they did in between, or was it like a DLC?
I think it was a re-release after Fable 2 because they didn't really have anything for 2 yet.
Okay.
2 was like, I think they didn't have any DLC for it, none that I found on the Xbox store, but then again, it's the Xbox store. I think the DLC really started Fable with 3, but they would offer like the free, but you can buy the game.
And
that would get confusing.
That was kind of also back in the day before DLC was really like a required big thing.
That's when you could use gamer points.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh my god, yeah. Remember when gamer points actually meant something? Like you got achievement points and gamer points, you could actually use them for things.
I remember telling you a couple months ago, I actually finally used gamer points when I was playing Mass Effect 2. Just to sign online. Like, use game points. I'm like, oh, those fucking things.
Like those things, that actually mean something, yeah.
Oh, good. I'm not just gonna be hoarding these motherfuckers now. Can we just go back to being able to use that instead of spending fucking $10
microtransactions on top of microtransactions? Oh, dude.
On a 3-hour extra story?
Dude, I just read an article, and I know Hideo Kojima is turning over in his grave, even though he's not dead. The new Metal Gear game, because so you guys don't know.
Oh my god, I saw the preview for that.
Hideo Kojima is a goddamn genius. He's probably the biggest name in video game development in this day and age. The creator of the Metal Gear series alone, right there, is the writing is so mind blowing, crazy bullshit, and Kojima's out of his fucking mind. But he didn't even leave. He got forced out of Konami. And Konami are going forward and releasing more Metal Gear games without Kojima. And the new article that I saw on IGN's headline was that microtransactions to be brought into the Metal Gear series.
God.
And I'm like, first off, it's a Metal Gear game, so that means already that if they're doing microtransactions means they're going to focus way too much on the online aspect, which the Metal Gear games have no right to be online games, in my opinion. And they're going to throw in microtransactions. So I know Kojima's like sitting in the background somewhere just laughing and collecting royalties off of the years.
He's just sitting going, ha, you fucked yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So
also, this Metal Gear with zombies.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, sir. Let's hear your number 2.
My number 2. So when you're going to talk about RPGs, and I don't know if you hit any from this series, you can't talk about RPGs without talking about the Final Fantasy series.
True.
And it would be wrong of me to not throw one of those games in there. Everyone's like, oh, so it's going to be 7. It's not fucking 7. Like, oh, so it's going to be like 6 on the old school games. 6 was originally 3 on SNES. Then 6 when the anthologies came out. It's not that. I also was a big fan of 10. A lot of people didn't like 10. 10 was the first one that came out for the newer gen of systems when it came out for, what was that, PS3? PS2. It was the first PS2. Final Fantasy. It's not 10. It's Final Fantasy 12. And Final Fantasy 12 to me was such a great goddamn game. It was the first Final Fantasy that broke the mold of turn-based style fighting and made it open world. So you walked around this open world, and usually in Final Fantasy games, if you guys remember in the classic ones, you walk around the map with your character, using a sprite. Later games 3D, like an X, or a 10X, and there was no monsters anywhere, and it was like random encounter, cut the fight, yeah, you know, you go to it like a battle screen, do battle, and that's it. And that's what Final Fantasy is in, you know, traditional Japanese style RPGs. 12 was the first one that really broke that mold. All the monsters were on the map. Like, you walked to an area, you saw all the monsters on the map. So, like, instead of, like, getting in a battle and, like, oh, I want to flee, I'm a low level, or I don't feel like fighting right now. If you wanted to flee, you literally had to run the fuck away from these monsters. That if the monsters saw you, like, and they had a really cool way of perception. So if they saw you, you had an ability to run away if you were faster than them. If you wanted to fight them, and like, you know, getting hoarded on by like different monsters coming from every angle, it made a strategy that you didn't see in Final Fantasy games before that. And I don't feel 12 gets enough credit because that really, it broke the mold. Like, that wasn't something you saw in the Final Fantasy series. A real true open world experience. They brought you back to the world of Ivalice, which Ivalice was a world they used in the Final Fantasy Anthology series, which was 4, 5, and 6. I don't remember if it was. It might have actually been 6. But they brought you back to Ivalice. The story was a war between Arcadia and Rosaria, and you played, you know, scrappy young dude. I want to be a sky pirate one day, like a kid character who ends up getting embroiled in princesses and bad guys and espers and all the Final Fantasy lore and all the greatness. Sid Highwind character makes an appearance as he does in all the Final Fantasy games, and it just,
this is where I just jump in and just go. That's why I'm so quiet. Never played Final Fantasy.
Not a single one.
The most I know is that one horrible movie, The Spirits Within.
Oh, Spirits Within. I saw that movie opening day.
I still don't get it. And I watched it again, like within the last 2 years. I went, I still don't know what the fuck going on.
They should have just not called that movie a Final Fantasy movie and just called it sci-fi crazy shit 3D, and it would have been fun. But like, they tried to call it Final Fantasy.
Graphics were great for the time.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get those graphics in games for a while. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But no, I was never a Final Fantasy person.
No.
I never really got it. The most that was like it was
7. You never played the big one. 7.
No, I played the one I think would compare mostly as Legend of Gaia or something like that. It was one of those old like.
That's an old Square game with the same people that made.
That was the most I played. I got to a certain level and was gonna get past the boss. I'm gonna play Tony Hawk. That's as far as that really went.
Yeah, no, I would say anyone that likes Japanese style RPGs but are looking for something outside the box that actually breaks the mold a little bit, go check out Final Fantasy 12. It is a great game. I didn't even talk about it. It was developed obviously by Square Enix. Came out in October 2006 for PlayStation 2, and it was just so much fun. I have to tell the quickest story. So this was back in the day of memory cards. I played the fuck out of Final Fantasy 12. My 3 characters in my party were all like 95, 94 plus. 3 backup characters were all like 88 plus. They were all like early 90s. They had hunts in the game. There were like 250 or so out of hunts. I was on the final hunt, which is actually like a 6 to 10 hour battle that you could leave the arena because like you can't kill them. Like, you're not gonna play video games for 8 hours straight. Well, you might, but you can actually leave the arena and come back and fight them. I was like 3/4 of the way through the battle. I was up to the final boss. I failed out of the 6 characters. I failed 4 of their ultimate weapons. Out of the 13 espers, I had 7 of them. 2 of the secret ones, the Magus sisters and Yojimbo. Like, I played the shit out of it. Someone borrowed my memory card. Lost my fucking memory card.
Oh.
I never beat the game. I never. Man, it makes me so mad. I probably put like 350, 400 hours in that game. And,
do you still talk to that person?
now I've disowned that person, and I hope he's burning in hell right now.
Have you played like the newest Final Fantasy?
Well, 15. Man, there's some problems with that game. Let me tell you.
Really?
It's cool. It's GTA in a Final Fantasy
Okay.
world, and that's not cool. And I love GTA, as you can see. Fucking GTA is one of my
Red Dead, GTA.
GTA's probably my number 2 or number 3 favorite franchise of all time. I love those games, but it's not Final Fantasy. You know, you're driving around in your car, and it's cool, and it's fun, and it's got the Final Fantasy feel to you. The music's great. Nobuo Uematsu is an amazing fucking composer, but it dropped the ball on a couple points from there. But what's your number 2? What's your number 2?
Mass Effect 2.
Ah, there you go.
Not number 1.
It's not number 1. I'm surprised. Now I'm curious.
My number 1 is the one
Now I'm really
you mentioned earlier too.
Oh, all right.
It's like I said before. Mass Effect 2 with all the DLC is my favorite RPG. Not for this list. There's a reason why number 1 is number 1.
Okay.
But this is like the first RPG I went with all the DLC. It makes the story so fucking good.
I talked about it, man. It's a great game. It's
Just the
a
storyline
great
itself.
fucking game.
I mean, I'm so that I really hope they don't do like a Telltale in the future, but that would just ruin it for me. That would for me.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it with Borderlands. That's a first-person shooter. But no, it's I can't even count how many hours I put into this. But it's just so much fun. With the DLC, there's the new vehicle you drive. It's kind of like a hover tank, pretty much.
Yes.
I forget what the name of it was. It's just so much more in depth. Aside from 1 to that, with that stupid Simon game, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
God, that shit was fucking dumb. Or walking up stuff, text skill too low.
Yeah, like, oh man, yeah.
Remember that when you'd have to actually measure out what the
We had to bring certain people in your party with you because you're like, all right, I'm gonna have to do tech shit on this world. Let me make sure I bring Tali with me.
And you could control their actions in
You
one. Right?
in one you could,
But you didn't have concussive shot like we have now.
Yes.
Because it's not now, it's like wanted. I've actually watched it curve around. I just go,
like,
all right.
Oh shit, I did that.
But 2 was where, as you said, everything changed. They figured out all the better. The elevator rides were
The elevator rides was a lot quicker. Yeah.
Still trying to pick my favorite character from that. It wasn't in the DLC. I think I mentioned you before, Thane.
Thane Krios, man.
Thane is a fucking badass.
He is a badass dude.
And Jack.
I know.
It was my romantic itch. I did go with Miranda.
And, oh,
My
man.
shepherd was a whore. He went for all of them.
Okay.
I don't think he got Tally, though. I want to say maybe in the 3rd one. There's a thing where you get her to take her mask off.
Supposedly, if you romance, so I've heard, I do not know, if you romance her, because you can't romance her in 1, the only person you can fucking romance in 1 is either, or only people, is Liara, Kaden, and Ashley. There's only 3 options in 1.
Well, technically 2. Spoiler.
Well, so yeah, but supposedly, if you romance Tally from 2 into 3, there's some Easter egg where she removes her mask. I don't know the truth behind that. I kind of think it's bullshit, personally. Do you have any insight on it?
I want to say I had that happen. I think I romanced Tally in 2. This was like my first playthrough years ago, when I was just romancing everybody. All the female characters.
You're just whoring yourself out.
I didn't go femshep.
Oh, man. Femshep all the way, baby.
Although, I want you to go through and see if you can get a Thane romance.
I might try that.
But now, my favorites... No, Jack, honestly. How do you...
You know my
Jack's
opinion.
a badass.
I didn't like Jack.
Why?
Alright, so Mass Effect 2, for other people out there, so in Mass Effect 1 you had your crew, and your crew meant a lot to you, and they all had their special abilities and powers, stuff like that. Some people died, some people survived. Yada, yada, yada. In Mass Effect 2, they kind of retooled it, and you start almost kind of from scratch, and you get a new crew initially. The old faces pop up, of course.
Yes, they don't trust you this time.
No, I don't trust you because a lot of shit is going down between 2 games and they spoil too much.
Yeah.
But they all pop up in some degree, and some join your party. Namely, Garrus and Tally, they full-time join your party.
Yes.
And not Rex. No, because she had Grunt.
Yeah.
You
You go see Rex.
You get to see Rex. And Liara, you see Liara, and Kaden or Ashley. I don't know how you're going to...
Yeah.
Take that one. But,
whichever way you go.
Whichever way you want to go. But Jack was one of the new characters, and she was such a trope, edgy, skinhead girl with tattoos. The reason why I didn't like Jack is because I felt like she was created for me to like her. It was like, you're gonna like her. She's a badass. Don't trust nobody. She's got a skinhead and tattoos. Like.
She got a chain link tattoo.
Yeah,
she can move people with her head. She was 11.
She was 11 before 11, so I do gotta give her that credit. She was totally 11 before 11.
But Miranda was like, she was meant to look like a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, but you never see in her swimsuit. Unless you romance her, then you just get that partial.
Oh, do you get something like that? Okay. Miranda was sexy. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't trust her. She was for Cerebrus, and I just, she was like, you're shady. I don't know if I trust you.
But I don't even want to give away the ending, like what your choices were. But no, could you romance Liara?
No, see, I ran a femshep through my Mass Effect run through, and I was all about Garrus. I've been about Garrus. I was so pissed that I couldn't romance him in 1. I was like, fucking Garrus, I want to romance him. I want the scaly blue love. That's all I wanted. the scarred up scaly blue look. My buddies out there, Nick and Danny, we love Garrus like so much, and it's so great. I feel like I can commiserate with them about all his calibrations and
I'm
everything
still
like that.
so very curious of why you always go femship.
You
That's
know,
one thing I'm always.
I don't, real quick, when I was creating my character, I typically don't create myself. I always role play as a character, and I don't know. Typically, this is real funny. So it's always Fallout, the big comparison. My first playthrough, I played 100% goody two shoes, and I always play as a guy. My second run through, I go completely chaotic evil, and I always play as a woman. And that's what I always do. But for Mass Effect, I wanted to switch it. I went as a girl my first run, and she was complete 100%. Not goody two shoes, but like she was a true paragon.
Yeah.
Like the only
I always
renegade
want to go
choice.
renegade, but I always feel bad. And you're just like, fuck.
I had this conversation with a friend of mine, Daniel. We were talking about this. Being renegade in other games, like, oh, I'm an asshole, I'm gonna kill this town, and I'm gonna do this. Being renegade in Mass Effect, like, I'm gonna let my crew members die. That's why it's hard to be a renegade in Mass Effect.
That's why I don't make that many choices. Like the one level where you get to like pretty much just throw the guy out the window. Or
Yeah.
People out, like, yeah, you're going out the fucking window.
See, I didn't. Now, see, I ran a true paragon, but that scene, I was like, oh fuck this guy, he's going out the window. Like,
And then the interrogation scene, I was like, dude, fuck, come on, fuck, I'm not playing this shit with you.
So yeah, but being renegade in Mass Effect's hard because to be true renegade in Mass Effect,
Yeah, people are gonna die.
people are gonna die. People that you like are gonna
Yeah.
die. You know, so it's hard to run true renegade.
Like, how long
in
would
Mass
you?
Effect.
We're not gonna give away any spoilers. How long would you say suicide mission is?
Oh
Hour and a half?
man, I
2
mean,
hours maybe?
the whole mission, hour and a half. The whole.
I lost one. I'm not gonna say who.
I lost one, and I replayed that shit like 5 times till I saved him, and I did save him.
But then
Everyone survived.
But I ran through the one time. Fine, that person goes. It was Tally, whatever.
Oh man, that would have broke my heart.
No,
Oh man,
that,
that
like,
would
he
have
wasn't
broke my heart.
down, she goes down. I'm like, well, fuck this, I gotta fucking read it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did the same exact shit. Tally lives, I go,
What?
I went, what the fuck?
My first run through, they died, and I was not happy about it. And then I did it like
my
4
very
times
first
in a
run through,
row.
a bunch of people died. Fuck, I didn't know that whole, you have to pick so-and-so.
So certain people, yeah.
Pick a tech, Garrus, get the fuck in there.
Yeah, Garrus, handle it. Like calibrate some shit.
And then you get to them, Morden, Rex, and I'm like, oh, fuck. We gotta go back and play again.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that took a lot of, fuck. See, just that, Mass Effect,
It's a
it'll
great
fuck
game.
you up.
It really will. It will tug at all of the
Like I
heartstrings.
said, if there's ever a telltale, fuck you. Alright, sir. I'm very ready for your number one.
Alright, guys. My number 1 favorite RPG of all time. It's Fallout 3.
Oh, of course.
It's Fallout 3.
Oh,
And-
3 though.
But see, that's what actually was the hardest choice. Was, is it going to be New Vegas or is it going to be 3?
Oh, no, I thought you were going to go 4.
Man, 4's a great game. I'm not one of the die-hard fanboys who are like, 4 fucking suck, blah, blah, blah. 4 is a phenomenal game.
It was the one I really started on, too.
Story-wise, it can't hold the ticket. It can't hold the candle to 3 in New Vegas. There's a meme that goes around that I love, and it's all the Fallout games. So firstly, Fallout 3. There's a multi-platform game that came out in October of 2008. It's the 3rd in the series, but the first 2 games, most people never even heard of. I knew about because I used to be a PC gamer.
My dad played them when I was younger.
Yeah. So Fallout 1 was a game by Interplay that came out in 1997 for PC and for Windows and DOS and Mac. And Bethesda, there was a second one, there's Fallout 2, and a really shitty Fallout Brothers Steel that came out as well.
Now, 2 was more like the Diablo type
Well,
thing.
but 1 is 2, and that's the thing. So 1 and 2 were
That's what I really remember.
PC games that were isometric, which isometric means top down. For people that haven't played PC games or that haven't played Diablo, imagine like an old school RPG when you walk into someone's house and like you're looking, or RPGs where you're looking like down on the map and you got a little sprite like Zelda. That's isometric. And PC games got a little better because they added like a second dimension to it and angled it so there was some depth to it, and it wasn't just a flat like 8-bit sprite on 8-bit ground. And the first two Fallout games were like that. Fallout 3 was like, Bethesda's like, we're kicking all the fucking doors down. Like, it's a full 3D first-person shooter.
Bethesda still does that to this day.
They really did that. Bethesda was already getting shit done by the time of Fallout 3 came out, but Fallout 3 was the one. Oblivion.
Well, yeah, but had they released they released Morrowind before that, right?
Yeah, the Elder Scrolls series. So Elder Scrolls series started again on PC, and Morrowind, Bethesda got it ported to Xbox and stuff like that, and that's where they really were. Everything to ship. Bethesda's a good, awesome company.
Which they still say today.
Yeah, Fallout 3 was the one that really if they weren't on the map at that point, then they got a star next to their name on the map with Fallout 3.
That's where they got their check verified on Facebook. Yeah.
Exactly, and because it really just it opened up so much. It was a full 3D first person shooter. You could zoom out to third person, which a lot of people did. I used to do a lot of time, but the game is so goddamn big, and especially the scope of gaming and how gaming excelled. Fallout 3 is such a benchmark. When people talk about sandbox action RPGs, Fallout 3 is a game you have to list in that. People say the GTA series, the Fallout series. I'm trying to think of other big sandbox games that are probably on top of that. Mostly Rockstar and Bethesda games. Those are the guys.
Some BioWare.
Some BioWare. KOTORs and stuff like that. They do knock those games at the park. The reason, but the meme is what I derailed myself. The meme is so great because in every game you have a big mission, obviously, that you have to complete on top of the side missions. And there's a meme that says, Fallout 1, find the Wooder chip. Fallout 2, become the chosen one. Fallout 3, find your dad. Fallout 4, find your son. Fallout New Vegas. Who the fuck shot me in the head? Because that's literally the plot of New Vegas.
I tried to start New Vegas. Well, I did, but then I got the whole... Oh, this gang's coming. You need to convince people to help you. And no one would fucking help me. I'm like, well, then fuck this.
Oh, man, you gotta get your...
I'm gonna go back to it.
You gotta get your speech checks up, man.
I bought Fallout 3 on Steam. And then under it, after you click purchase on that, then a little bit more. Not playable on your system.
Oh!
Where you have to scroll down, you just go... So I'm sitting there I'm like, it's installed. Play.
You didn't pay a lot of money for it.
No, $10. Okay,
alright.
I still got the refund. Hang on. Then I went back to the page and go, what the fuck? Not playable. I was like, why would you put that right the fuck? Steam, fix your shit.
Fix your shit, Steam. Let people know before that type of thing happens. But so I couldn't pick 4 because story-wise, it didn't hold the heart that 3 did. And I want to pick New Vegas because gameplay-wise, New Vegas did what Mass Effect 2 did to Mass Effect 1. It took a great fucking game and was like, yo, we're going to add fucking awesome guns, we're going to add this, we're going to add karma, with the different groups and everything like that. And, what they got? Not groups. What are they called?
Factions?
Factions. They added a faction system. So, New Vegas is the upgrade on 3. It's like 3.5. But, dude, and this is why I picked Final Fantasy 12 for my number 2 over other games. Not that other games aren't greater than them, but for favorites, for me, the amount of hours I logged in Fallout 3 is unfucking real. I probably put 600 plus hours into that.
How many did you put into 4? Not as many?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I played the fuck out of... no, out of 4? Ooh, no, actually, I think I New Vegas. 4, I only probably put about 150.
That's not bad.
I still haven't played any of the DLC or beat 4. Because I never beat Fallout games and most RPGs. I get to the final mission, then I play all the DLCs together, and then I do the final mission.
There was only 2 DLC released.
3.
There was 3?
Nuka World, Far Harbor, the Mechanist one.
I only remember the Far Harbor
and
one.
I remember the Children of Adam one.
I remember the Nuka World and Far Harbor. I never remember seeing anything after that.
Yeah, Nuka World and Far Harbor are the last 2. The first one was the Children of Adam one, and the second one
It was still just funny to watch all the glitches happen. You ever watch all the glitches?
Yes,
Those were fucking hilarious.
Yeah, those were awesome. And a quick note, shout out to my boy, Frank. He actually got his stream uploaded to Kotaku because the glowing sea in Fallout 4. He ran the glowing sea completely nude with no armor whatsoever, and he did it in third person. You can see this naked guy running through the glowing sea, running from fucking death claws and rad scorpions and
all my first death claw.
Oh man, dude, the first time you ever see a death claw, and that's the thing about 3. 3 just blew my mind in what gaming could do. That was a benchmark for me where I was like, oh shit.
Well, no, I technically cheated with 4.
Oh, did you?
I had found the code for a developer's room.
Oh,
2 weeks
God,
after it was out.
no.
No, just all the equipment mode. That was really all it was. Then it's still going too heavy to move. I'm going, fuck
Yeah,
you.
you are over encumbered. So, what's your number one?
You said it twice now.
Ooh.
My number one is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
It's of the Old fucking tour.
Not number two. I had my problems with number two. I'll get into those.
Okay.
Knights of the Old Republic was one of those ones where you do every quest. You didn't get DLC, you didn't get all that shit for it, so you would go and do as much as you could to level up as much as you could just for that final battle.
Okay.
For those you don't know, and spoiler alert, I'm just going to say now, you are a mind-wiped Sith Master who wakes up on a ship and pretty much you think you're a Jedi because they are trying to turn you over to the light side. It's 2003. I'll give away all those fucking spoilers I want.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
That came out
If you haven't played Knights of the Republic at this point,
and
turn in your gamer card.
And if you're watching a thing about RPGs, fuck off. It was honestly one of the most fun games ever. I just remember the first mission you get the stupid vibro, so I'm going, I don't want this shit. Like, oh, you gotta use a gun. I don't want to use a fucking gun.
Big goddamn lightsaber.
It took you a while to get there. Like, the characters were great.
Yeah.
There was a Yoda type.
Of
That's
course.
one of the masters. I forget.
Yeah.
Yet again, I forgot to look at all their names. I played it in the last 3 years. To me, it held up. Well, just story-wise, not graphics-wise.
Right, yeah. It's an old game, but story-wise, it's an amazing story.
I know they just released Battlefront 2, but come on. Give me KOTOR. I remember hearing a story a couple months ago they were going to remaster it. That still hasn't happened.
Well, see, and here's the problem. I'm not even positive where BioWare is at in this stage of the game. A lot of the people that worked for BioWare left BioWare. And that was the big problem with Mass Effect Andromeda. We talked a bit about that in episode 1. Mass Effect Andromeda helped. Mass Effect Andromeda...
Well, most of them left to go work on Anthem.
Yeah. Mass Effect Andromeda didn't go into production. Like literally, they didn't start working on the game until 8 months before its release date. Which is weird in the world of gaming. That does not happen. So that was a lot of things that factored into problems with Mass Effect Andromeda. And like you said, all those people that left, the big names, the people that were behind KOTOR, the people that were behind Dragon Age, the people that were behind Mass Effect, they left and now they're working on Anthem, which Anthem was looking like it's going to be really good.
But it's looking like just a multiplayer game to me.
It is.
That's like they said that's one of the main things is multiplayer. That's why I just went.
I
was excited.
It looks like MMO Titanfall.
But now I'm kind of thrown off.
Yeah.
I remember my first thing, like, I could have sworn I said from the developers of Bioshock, and went,
Oh, shit.
Then I still said BioWare, I'm like, I'm still kind of in.
But see, you did your top 30, and you didn't even put Bioshock or Bioshock 2 or Bioshock Infinite anywhere in your top 3 list, and I'm surprised by that. Like, when you...
They're not technically role-playing, though. Really?
Oh, Bioshock's an action RPG. So, like, don't you think, like, Bioshock is an action RPG? Like, it's... You know, it's a matter of, like, leveling and stat building. I would.
It's not really leveling. You don't really level up in Bioshock. You just get more weapons and more powers. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
Like in Infinite.
And I've never played Infinite.
Really?
I played a lot of. I've never beat any of them. I'm sorry. I played a lot of 1, played a little of 2, never played Infinite.
Like your female companion, she gains like powers to like open tears in time, so like you can get floating guns and shit, or robots and all that.
Okay.
That's why I don't really see it as RPG. I see it more as science fiction, first-person shooter. And I don't know, when you say like Call of Duty could be RPG, because in a way you kind of level up.
See, and I feel like those games, Call of Duty specifically, and a lot of games like that, introduce RPG elements. But when I say like stat building, like, yeah, you know, in Call of Duty, you know, your level goes up and you can unlock new perks, but your shotgun use like doesn't get plus 10. You know, you're not getting plus 5 damage because.
Like, yeah, in Bioshock, yes, you get those stations where like, oh, you can add another carbine onto your rifle.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, I guess I can see the argument for it not being an RPG. I've always just considered it an RPG, but it makes sense why.
If I replay it, I'll replay with that in mind now. I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
But no, like, let's go back to KOTOR. I want more.
Yeah.
They released the Old Republic. I tried it. It was like World of Warcraft to me. Very fucking repetitive.
Yeah.
The same shit over and over and over. And the controls were just weird. It's not like you swing your lightsaber around.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, wait. Hey, wait. I'm like, come the fuck.
Really?
Yeah, it was like
so
that.
It was like that. Okay. Now, was that massively multiplayer, like World?
Yes.
It was.
The Old Republic, yes. It's like their new online
Oh,
thing.
I
think it's like
heard.
LucasArts like last hold on because LucasArts shut down 2 years ago.
The gaming portion of LucasArts is no longer a thing.
Well, technically now it would be Disney. So if Disney ever want to do anything with it.
Yeah. KOTOR is such a great series. I've always said if there's any game out there that deserves a rebooting or a reworking, it would be the Knights of the Old Republic series because that was
2 not so much. I was starting to run my problems with 2.
So what are your problems with 2?
Remember like the whole pod racing type thing? No,
Yeah.
not technically pod racing, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It was just different. Like they put obstacles and all that, and it just fucks up the races longer. You're going, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like now you have to turn?
Yeah.
But no, like that, some of the combat felt different. There was just so many. The story just didn't feel the same.
Okay.
Like I didn't feel like it progressed as well. Now we're talking about Mass Effect, but you go on Renegade and all that.
Yeah.
I always went light side. I need to go back and do dark side just to see how that goes.
I would love to pick that game back up just to do. I never went dark side whenever I played. I only played the first KOTOR. I played a little of 2. I would love to replay and just to go dark side, just to relive that story again. Because it was a lot of fun. That was a cool world to be a part of.
Oh, there's that plot twist.
Yeah.
Again, spoiler fucking alert.
Spoiler alert. Yep.
You haven't played it. Fuck off.
Yeah. You're
15
14 years old.
Yeah.
You're 15 years
Yeah,
old.
15.
Yeah.
You didn't play it. It's like King Kong dies at the end. We all fucking know. Titanic, boat fucking sinks. Leo dies.
It was his sled. We all know at this point. Yeah.
But I really wish they would have gone further. But they did go into like Dragon Age and all that, right?
Yes.
Which is one of those I haven't really played. I discussed it with you before of why I don't like it.
Yeah. See, I've never even touched the series, and I've heard DA's good. I heard Orange is good. I heard Inquisition's amazing.
But you did play a little bit of Jade Empire.
Yes,
another one from BioWare.
Yes.
So BioWare's been busy over the years. I never really put that much thought into it.
BioWare's been around for so long. Dude, Neverwinter Nights.
I remember that.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. Neverwinter Nights, Neverwinter Nights 2, and KOTOR 2, I believe. Another BioWare game that started out as a BioWare game actually was developed by Obsidian, who Obsidian are people that left Interplay, which Interplay created the Fallout series.
I think Obsidian, I could be very wrong. We will fact check this and there will be a little thing down here.
Like, boop.
I believe that has something to do with the South Park games.
Really?
Yeah, I believe.
The first one,
Yes.
the 64 one, Interplay.
No, I also believe Stick of Truth. I believe I
really?
saw Obsidian Entertainment.
Okay.
Or along those lines. Yet again, it'll be right
Yes.
here. Yeah. I don't fucking know.
Somewhere in this area, there will be a pop-up.
Welcome to pop-up video games.
Yeah.
But no, I believe they had something to do with that as well. So these companies that you don't really hear of for years are still around. BioWare, they're just more on the receiving end because they kind of had the failure with Andromeda.
Yes.
But they're having Anthem, which, as we both said, I'm not that excited for.
Graphics
look amazing.
Excited for it.
Graphics look amazing. It's like you said, Titanfall.
MMO.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It looks like Titanfall meets Destiny. And big mech suits and easy jump in out.
But what do you say that are more Fallout suits?
They are. They are more the brothers still using the power armor. It is more power armor-esque than the Titanfall mechs. It's not a huge mech, but it seems like that's going to be such a big thing in the game. Shooting your mech.
If I can see reviews that has good single player like me and you, and both said we prefer single player,
gotta have something.
I might give it a chance. But if it's just online, like Destiny, I'm not gonna give it a shot.
Yeah.
But I wish there would be more KOTOR. Again, we talked about Dragon Age. I played it for an hour.
Yeah.
I told you get the party. I thought it'd be like Mass Effect, where anyone in your team kills someone, you get the experience.
Yeah.
No, just that person. Yeah. Like, fuck that shit. They're not gonna be a higher level than me.
Nah, yeah.
I'm the leader here. I'm the captain now.
I love how parallel yet how different our lists are, and I also love that probably.
I thought I was gonna shock you with Mass Effect 2 at number 2. I was waiting for you to say that's not your number 1.
It's not that I was shocked that Mass Effect 2 was number 2. Once I heard you were doing Me 2 is my number 2, I was like, oh, so Bioshock is number 1. I just instantly thought that since Mass Effect 2 was 2, I'm like, oh, so it's going to be Bioshock. So to see not having Bioshock on your list, but I understand, is because you didn't necessarily classify as an RPG. So
likely mention. We'll just leave it. By the time people likely mention now with your way of putting that.
If I had to pick an honorable mention that is outside of my top 3, I would have to probably say it's going to be. It's a tie for sequels to these games on my list. It's probably a tie for New Vegas or Final Fantasy VII.
Actually, I have a second honorable mention.
What's that?
Diablo.
Diablo. There you go.
Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
There's nothing wrong with that.
They're fun games.
Yeah.
Oh God, the hours fly by when you play those.
I haven't played the Diablo game since Diablo 2 back in PC gaming days. So
Did you get the expansion with the Druid though?
No, I did not.
Oh.
No, I did not.
And
I played that. I think it was like '98 that game came out. So it's like 20 years ago at this point that I played that game.
You were Enchantress. No, was there Enchantress?
No, I was not an Enchantress. I was actually a Warlock. I was a wizard.
I was waiting to see how early this whole thing started.
Yeah, no. Back in the day, I did not run as a female character spawns.
I was going to say, did Metroid start this for you?
Man, I do love the Metroid series. I really do. One thing I got to point out, I know a huge, there's probably two or three huge RPGs that did not make either on our list. And I know probably a lot of the people that are watching, they're like, you guys didn't mention Zelda, you guys didn't mention Dark Souls, like, you guys didn't mention The Witcher. I gotta tell you right now.
I'm gonna jump in right now. If you love Dark Souls, go fucking.
Oh man, you're alienating a huge portion of our crowd. Because Dark Souls is a wildly popular game.
That is the most frustrating fucking game I've ever played.
And that's why I love, because me and you agree with this. I play video games a lot. I love video games. I've never rage quit a game and never picked it up like I did with Dark Souls. It's so fucking hard. The masochistic crowd out there that likes Dark Souls, please convince me and Bill to want to play that game.
You are Paul Bettany from Da Vinci Code, just whipping the fuck out of yourself every time you turn on that fucking game.
Please, do something. Email us, tweet us, Facebook DM us, whatever. Convince me and Bill to play Dark Souls.
I'm sure you're not terrible people.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, you have to fucking punish yourself. I know plenty of people that have played it and have beat. Well, they might have beaten it. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
and just start talking
know
about it at some point.
Yeah.
So I assume like, oh, that nightmare's finally over for you.
We are gonna have to do a drunk let's play, like to steal a note out of Rooster Teeth, of Dark Souls at some point because of how
That's
much.
That's why whenever I always just say, "Oh, Dark Souls 4," I'm like, Jesus, fuck, what do you do to these people? Stop it!
Yes, it's bad, man. Those games are hard. And
like,
Bloodborne, I've never even played Bloodborne because of how desensitized I was from Dark Souls. I was like, do I even want to play Bloodborne? Do I want to try?
That's like
this?
Cuphead.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, no. And then, you know what? And here's an honorable mention RPG, since we're on the topic of RPGs, that's not new. It came out a couple years ago. It started out on the PC as a PC game, and now it's been ported over to the systems. Fucking Undertale. Undertale is such a great fucking game. It's an 8-bit sprite-on-sprite game, like I'm talking about, like top-down. It is classic. This game could have came out in 1994, but it came out in like 2014. Don't quote me on that. It was pop up. It was an indie game that came over the PC that they crowdsourced and made, and it's your classic style RPG. You're a kid walking around, which it's like the demon world. It's almost kind of like Purgatory, I guess you consider it. I forget that. Sorry, I didn't. Because I just brought it up randomly, I don't have notes on it, so I can't speak too well on it. But everything you do and everything that happens in the world gives you determination. And the humor in the writing in Undertale is so fucking spot on, and it's so irreverent and weird. The music is great. Action. The game's not about the action at all. It's turn-based style, like you're walking along, battle screen, type stuff like that. And it has little mini games. That's how you battle people, and it's fun. It's very fun. But that definitely will be an honorable mention on there.
Now you mentioned The Witcher. I've only played a little bit of 3.
Yes.
It was another one of those ones on Steam. It just started glitching. I went, I'll uninstall, reload. I did it a couple times, it wasn't working. So yet again, Steam, fix your shit.
Fix your shit, Steve.
But you're mentioning humor. I think 2 of mine have more humor than yours. Fable 2, as we mentioned, there's a lot of humor. Mass Effect 2, there are slight jokes in there. Also, I found a lot more references to the earlier series in Andromeda this week.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll save that.
Mass Effect 2 has some humor. Final Fantasy 12, the Final Fantasy series has humor, but it's very it's not. That's not something they focus on, but isn't there? Fallout though, huge humor. The writing in Fallout's fucking so goddamn good.
I'm looking here at codes where I'm like, there's no fucking.
There's no humor.
You're a bantha.
Yeah. I mean, it's catchy. It's kitschy Star Wars jokes in there, but I wouldn't necessarily I wouldn't point out KOTOR for its humor. The story is great, but the humor writing isn't. That's not a benchmark for them. That's not something they focused on. So I don't slight them for not having that much humor.
But I like how, besides Mass Effect, our list differed yet again.
Yes.
We are going to start up a thing we've only talked about it very few times. If you can match one of our lists, we will come up with a prize for you.
Yeah.
If that's going to be quite a while for that, because we don't have shit to give away yet, unless you want like an empty.
You want some empty beer bottles? Hold on.
You could like cut that out and like put the purse in there, and then you. Anyway,
for only $1.99, you can have this beer bottle drink by Reese on an episode of Gaming Buzz.
Mine's 99 because he's done more famous stuff than I have.
Oh man, oh boy. But yeah, this was really good. I'm glad that we got our top RPGs out of the way. We have so much more content coming up for you in weeks. Like we're gonna have so much shit in store for you. So what are you playing? Have you played anything new since we talked last?
Still the same too.
Okay.
Like I said with Andromeda, I found there's the whole Conrad burner thing. You run into his sister.
Okay. Yeah.
She just goes, "Oh, I'm gonna show up my brother. I'm finally doing something famous." Like you're sitting in a bar in a random world. You're not doing.
You're not anything. You're not.
But I'm looking into new games. I have Sherlock the Devil's Daughter. It looks like a kind of role playing thing. I just got it on Steam. Steam don't fuck me on this.
Oh man.
It looks interesting. Because I'm a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes. It's such an interesting.
That's awesome. Do you watch the Sherlock?
Oh yeah,
dude. We're about to start a second podcast where it's just us talking about Sherlock BBC series. Oh my god.
I annoy my girlfriend with how many times I rewatch it. If you already watched this, I'm like, I missed something.
I haven't finished the latest season.
Oh.
I only watched the first episode, and the first episode was so goddamn good.
Yes, it was.
And I was just like, oh my god, do they kill them? They're killing characters and. Moriarty's back, or maybe he's not back. Who knows?
And besides that, I'm just started Ozark.
Okay.
That.
Now, how Breaking Bad is it? And that's what everyone they do this Breaking Bad with Jason Bateman. And you know me, I love Breaking Bad.
There's really not that much of a drug element to it. It's the whole he launders money for drug cartels.
Yes.
And he has to. Pretty much the whole premise is it says right info on Netflix and no spoilers. He has to launder $500 million over 5 years.
Okay.
I'm I believe, almost done season 1. Such a good show.
Yeah.
So that's kind of taking away from my gaming right now.
Okay.
But what about you, sir?
You know what's funny? I'm gonna get out of the borders of video gaming and talk about what I've been playing. Just the other night, I did my first night of character creation for a D&D campaign that I'm doing with a group of friends, and it was fucking phenomenal. Like, we didn't even start the campaign. All we did was create characters and roll for our stats and stuff like that. I'm getting real geeky on you guys.
Is it true that, like, the campaigns last, like, 10 hours, or is that just something off of Stranger Things?
Oh, no, dude. 10 hours is short for a D&D campaign, to be honest. They run as long as your dungeon master is, willing enough to create a world and a story for your characters to roam in. That's what's so great about D&D. So, like, you have D&D, you have Dungeons and Dragons books that you can follow, and you can follow the stories that are written in those books, and there's thousands of other games, not Dungeons and Dragons. Pathfinder is the one that we're playing, and the skill books we're using, and you can follow those books 100% to a T, start the story, end the story, boom. If you are a real fucking nerd, like we guys are, our dungeon master is like writing like her own world and her own story that our characters are gonna live in, and it's really cool. Real quick, so in the world our DM is creating, is that this is a world of magic and mystery. Magic's a thing, orcs are a thing, elves are a thing. No, technology's a thing. It's a modern world, but the game doesn't take place in this world. The game itself that we're running, the campaign we're running, is actually a VR company that is getting people that inhabit this magical world.
Are you
play.
playing a game or writing a Netflix movie?
Dude, we're playing a game in a game. That's really what we're doing.
Are you playing Bright? What are you doing?
Yeah, it is Inception. So in the D&D campaign we're running, we are actually members in a VR beta that are plugging into this beta and playing out our character roles. So the characters we created are actually our video game avatars in this world. It's really fucking interesting. And my character I created, he's a fighter, for anyone that knows anything about D&D classes. He's homeless. He's a hobo fighter. He used to be a war general, and his daughter was dying. And to save his daughter's life, he made a deal with a demigod. He's human, by the way. He made a deal with a demigod to save his daughter's life, but of course, deals with demigods never go as planned, as you can imagine. And he ends up waking up homeless with amnesia, and he doesn't understand why he has a bionic arm and a bionic eye, and he has this cat, and he has no idea what this cat is. Come to find out, his daughter's soul is actually binding to his cat. So the deal did go through. They did save his daughter's life, but just not how he expected. So now he's a homeless guy with a bionic arm that he's a prize fighter. That's how he makes his money. He fights in back alleys and pit fights to survive and feed himself and feed his cat. And I can't wait to get into the campaign and see where his story maps out. So that's what I've been playing. I'm really excited about that.
This season on Black Mirror.
Yeah.
If that's not an episode next season.
You know, it totally. So yeah, that's
actually that almost kind of is like the video game episode, but I'm sure you've done that in your other podcast.
Yes, yeah.
That's a great episode, by the way.
The mansion episode.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
That's a satisfying note for me. To me, it was.
That's a tough one. Black Mirror's got some tough.
I have some trivia on me. Do you know whose son that is?
No.
Kurt Russell.
Really?
Yes.
That's Kurt Russell. And Goldie Hawn, I imagine?
I would imagine. I remember
to.
seeing the trivia. His father and so-and-so had both faced a spider creature with a human face. I went, wait, that's his dad?
That sounds like the thing.
Yeah. All right, before we just keep rambling.
Yes.
Next week, we're going to... I might actually have Bioshock on my list next week.
There we go.
We're doing first-person shooters next week. So
Bioshock might be on our list and Fallout might be on my list.
Well, you can get a third person though, so
you can.
Or should we? Well, where you can't zone out. Yes, we're negotiating.
We're negotiating
right now.
We're negotiating. Next week's episode will be top FPSs. I say leave it up to yourself.
Would you say Max Payne would count?
No, that's third person. That's third person action adventure. Great fucking game.
Yes, it is.
Great fucking game. So that's gonna be next week's episode. We thank you guys for tuning in this week. We would love for you to keep in touch with us, stay in contact with us. You can hit either of us up, Bill or Reese at gamingbuzzed.com. You can email both of us. You can find us on Twitter at GamingBuzz. You can find us on Facebook, GamingBuzzed. You have any general questions about the show, any topics that you want to see us talk about, and you don't want to talk to us directly, you can just send it to info@gamingbuzz.com, which goes to...
Before you send it, though, it has to be in top 3 format.
Yes, top 3 format. But yeah, you can email info@gamingbuzz if you don't want to talk to me or Bill directly. It doesn't matter because me and Bill have the password for info@gamingbuzz.
Yeah, so you kind of fucked it.
So it's the same way. So
you don't have a producer you just go talk to.
Yeah. So we have a fake producer. That fake producer has a fake email that we both answer. So please keep in touch with us. If you guys are liking what you see, like, share the video or the audio, rate it, do all the fucking things. I'm Reese.
I'm Bill.
And thank you for tuning in this episode of Gaming Buzz.
Also, thank you guys so much for all the attention on Facebook.
Yes.
We know we're a little sparse right now, but just the overwhelming likes just makes us go, holy fuck, people think we're going to do something good. Which is like just us going, you think that's funny? I don't know. Just throw a dick joke in there.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We'll fix it in post.
That's it. But no, thank you guys so much. This is going to be, we're going up from here.
Yeah.
First person shooters. Fuck.
Thank you guys. Keep on drinking. Keep on gaming.
You still got Avenue?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
I'm going to see the green fairy. I'm going to see the green fairy.
Ooh.
Find us online at gamingbuzz.com and at gamingbuzz on Twitter. Special thanks to Dogfish Head Room and viewers like you. And check out RNS Podcast and Black Mirror Reflections.